Michael McGuire. General, the Ukrainians are now taking a more offensive posture, starting to have some success, including in Luhansk and around Kharkiv and in other places around the country. We're now nearly a month in, and it seems like they're beating the odds. Has the performance of the Ukrainian forces surprised you?
Good evening, Tom. No, it hasn't surprised me. I mean, since the first day, I said they're not going to surrender. You opened this segment with a discussion about Mariupol on the breaking news segment and not accepting the unconditional surrender that Russia is demanding. What you're seeing happen right now militarily is this thing has become very static. A lot of bombardment, a lot of destruction of buildings. Certainly, the Ukrainian people are survivors. Unfortunately, not a lot of them are getting out. This is becoming much more a humanitarian crisis. Putin is not winning hearts and minds there. And I think, both what Victoria and Dick said is important, that beyond the military piece of this, the lever also that is going to influence Putin is going to be his own population. He's taken heavy losses. I talked to a woman today who came here from Russia 20 years ago. She's lived in Moscow first 28 years of her life. Her entire family's there, and she said they're suffering the economic issues, and the population is going to grow weary of this. They're living on bread and water, and she said, as a Russian citizen, she prays every day for the Ukrainians. This is unconscionable, the actions that Putin has taken, but the people in Russia are going to suffer these economic sanctions. We got to squeeze the oligarchs and get the people to turn on Putin.
You've helped train Ukrainian forces. Obviously, we're starting to really open up the tap in terms of providing them with lethal aid. From what you have heard out of the administration in terms of the type of lethal aid that we're providing, do you think that we're sending the right things?
I think the Javelin and Stinger missile systems are great. I think S-300s are great. You've got to get the MiG-29s in there. I totally reject the idea that them getting this equipment to continue to defend themselves is somehow going to mobilize them to go on offense. You mentioned at the top of this, there's counteroffensive for them to take back their sovereign territory and protect their communities. I don't see the Ukrainian army going an inch outside the borders of Ukraine right now. They're simply trying to push the Russians back into Belarus and Russia on the east. And there's quite a fight going on there, and they've been very successful. But those MiG-29 transfers need to get in. And the comment about leadership from behind is real. You can't keep changing your position from week to week. And I have no idea why in the middle of this we're trying to revive an Iranian nuclear deal with the Russians as the emissaries for that, while they're committing unconscionable acts against the people of Ukraine.
Yeah, talk to us about that. A lot of folks have started pushing back, particularly on Capitol Hill, on a bipartisan basis about the Iran deal. Russia is helping to facilitate those negotiations. How concerned are you that Iran and Russia will both take advantage of a weak administration and their nonsensical desire to continue to push forward with this negotiation?
I'm very concerned. They're already taking control, and this is why I'm saying I'm calling on my future colleagues in the Senate. I'm running against Mark Kelly here to try to get control back, but there has to be leadership somewhere. The administration and the State Department and the DOD, not a three of them can agree on any press conference. You can watch, you're in the media, you watch it all day. They say three different things. You and I, Tom, understand exactly what each of them is saying, and we don't understand it. Imagine being a Ukrainian diplomat or leader watching it, trying to figure out what's happening here.
Well, I mean, if you're the Iranian mullahs, or you're Putin, or you're Xi Jinping, or you're Maduro in Venezuela, you're watching all of that disconnect here in this country with the administration, and also on Capitol Hill as well. We'll have to leave it there. General Michael McGuire, thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Tom. Have a great night.